Hey Virgo, welcome to Aria Moon Tarot, and thank you so much for being here. This is your love reading for anyone with Sun, Moon, or Rising in Virgo. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't, check your other placements. All right, let's get started. Okay, for person A, we have the Moon, and for person B, we have the Lovers. Okay, so let's first just kind of scrape the surface a little bit and get an idea of who we're dealing with here, who person A and person B is. So right off, person A with this Moon energy, the Moon card is number 18, and that reduces to a 7. So 7s have us focus on reflection, on discovery, on spirituality, inner wisdom, intuition. So this person is most likely very reflective. They might keep to themselves a little bit. They might kind of be a little bit, it might be difficult for them to open up. So they're really giving me a feeling of privacy. This person likes to keep things close to their heart and kind of keep to themselves a little bit. They aren't somebody to just easily open up to those around them. I also am picking up on that this Moon person really might struggle with having a lot of negative thoughts. So they're kind of just giving me a feeling of somebody who kind of goes deep within, goes into their head a lot, and can struggle with what's going on in their head. And it's almost like it's this dark, not that their thoughts are dark necessarily, but it's almost like the place in their head and the thoughts that they that run through their head, they kind of keep that so private. It's almost like they go into a dark space and review and mull over and explore kind of this more hidden side of themselves, and it's something that they do in private. So this is somebody who's very contemplative. They think a lot. They go over the events of the day, the events of maybe even this connection. They go over and over and over this in their head a lot, but they do this almost in secret is kind of what I want to say. It's not that they're trying to keep it a secret. It's just that they are so private, and this connection especially is something that they view as very private, and they will kind of explore this connection and their thoughts about it on their own. They're not somebody who's going to open up and talk to a lot of people about this. This isn't somebody who's probably getting advice from their friends or their family members. They kind of just contemplate and go into a real headspace about this connection, and probably about most things in their life. This is somebody who definitely looks at the shadows. So they're willing to look at the dark side of things. They're willing to look at the things that are uncomfortable about life and kind of go there. And what it does is it helps them improve. So they are really about self-improvement. It might not be something that people around them know, because a lot of this goes on in their minds, but there's somebody who's really, they're contemplating, they're always looking in the shadows for like the work that needs to be done. So they're not somebody who, like, other people have to bring up to them some of the darker aspects of their personality or things that they could really work on and improve. They're likely to do this work on their own. They're likely to be harder on themselves than anybody would ever be on them, and always be kind of exploring and almost like pulling back the layers, pulling back the curtains, pulling back. I have an image of like, let's say a room that's full of clutter. This is the person who goes around that room and lifts up pieces of furniture and looks to see what's beneath them, where other people might just say, well, who cares if that's underneath that table? Nobody can see it anyway. This person definitely will do the work to uncover the little bits and pieces that might need to be cleaned up, that might need to be improved. So in that way, they're very interested in healing, in self-discovery, in bringing light, shining light in some of those darker places. They're interested in doing a lot of the harder work that people tend to avoid. This person will do these things willingly. And there is kind of a bit of a darkness that comes along with this. There's like almost a sadness. I don't know that this person necessarily feels sad, but that's kind of the feeling that comes over me. It's maybe a loneliness is a better word. It feels like a lonely place to be. It's somewhere that they choose to go and that they willingly go, and they go there very often, but it can feel kind of lonely to be doing all this self-discovery and to be thinking things through without the support of others. Even though this is what they choose to do, it can just feel lonely and like they're kind of walking this path alone a lot of the times. So this self-discovery and self-improvement is super important to this moon person. They are very analytical and in their heads a lot. Definitely. I think also this person can have a tendency to beat themselves up a little bit. Like I said, they're harder on themselves than anybody else would be. So when they find something, you know, in the corner, something that could have easily been covered up, they will sometimes beat themselves up about the fact that it was present in the first place. So I think that this is an aspect of this moon person that a lot of people close to them might not even be aware of. They might not be aware of what goes on in this person's head, and just how much goes on there, and how much they really can just be their own toughest critic. I think a lot of people don't know that. So on the surface, they may not appear to be quite as emotional as they are. But this is definitely an emotional person. I forgot to mention the moon card. This is Pisces energy here. And the lovers, this is Gemini energy. So we are dealing with Pisces energy. And Pisces energy can be quite emotional, and sometimes in some ways extreme when it comes to the level of emotion and compassion that Pisces can feel or can draw into our existence. So this is somebody who is really really emotional, but I just don't get the feeling that they lead with this emotion very much or very often. They will lead as a more analytical person. They will lead as very logical, and they are very logical, but they have this deep emotional side to them, and this just really deep contemplative side to them as well that most people probably don't see. They probably don't have insight when it comes to that aspect of this moon person. I think also when it comes to how hard this person can be on themselves, I think they don't realize how far they've come, and they really don't give themselves a lot of credit. And that really feeds into that critical side of their brain that wants to kind of analyze and find all of the ways that it could have been better and they could have done better. Let's see. Getting into the lovers person a little bit, and then we'll talk about the connection between them. So again, lovers, Gemini energy, number 6. So number 6 brings harmony. It's a perfect number. It brings stability. So there is definitely a little bit more of a grounded feeling coming from this lovers person. This person is highly spiritually evolved. I want to say maybe more evolved than the moon person, but I don't think that that's really true. I think that it's a matter of how these people express their spirituality. I think the lovers person is more open about their spirituality, more openly evolved than the moon person. So the lovers person is more likely to share some of their spiritual experiences, open up to people a little bit easier, maybe get involved with groups of people who are like-minded, they're really more comfortable in their spiritual evolution than the moon person is. And it's not really because this moon person chooses to not be comfortable with this spirituality. It's just more that they're very private about it. To them, it's a very private journey. I also think from this Lovers person, this person has a little bit more of a decisive nature to them than the moon person does. It's not that the moon person can't make a decision about anything, but they are more likely to kind of like wobble in their minds about something before just going forward. And the Lovers person, especially when it comes to this connection I'm picking up on, is much more decisive and is much more ready to bring the connection into existence and to really ground into this connection. So really the energies here, like from the Lovers person, I get more of it's not just a grounded energy, it's more of like a visceral energy. It's like they're more in their bodies and more feeling their way through everything that they do. So they're operating from a place of really settling down into their bodies and intuitively moving through the world. The moon person has this aspect about them. They have the ability to do that, but they really will be in their heads a lot more, and that will inhibit this ability to be as decisive and to be as intuitive and feeling as this Lovers person is. So also from this Lovers person, I feel like they know what they want. That comes with decisiveness, but that also helps them to be more decisive. The Lovers person is not as afraid to say what they want or to explore those feelings within themselves. They know exactly what they want. That helps them to be able to move forward when it comes to this connection or life in general. There's somebody who, like, when they know, they know. And there's really no telling them otherwise. They know. I think also with this person, they see the potential in every situation. So one thing that is kind of apparent here is just the opposite energies. I feel like there's a really warm energy coming from the Lovers person and a not cold but a cooler energy coming from the moon person. I think that this Lovers person really, they can kind of see the bright side of things more often and not get caught up in their head, in their mind, quite as much as the moon person does. They can see the bright side, they can see the potential, and I think that really speaks to the connection too. I think this Lovers person really sees the potential in this connection. And it's not that the moon person doesn't, but for the Lovers person to have seen that connection really means something to them. It really means this can work because I see the potential here. I see how this could be good. Like, sure, I see the problems, I see both sides of it, but because that potential has been identified, they're more decisive about moving forward with it because they saw the potential there. And I think they tend to see the best in people and in situations more so than the moon person. And truly, just as the name says, this person is a lover. They're a lover at heart. They're a sweet, kind individual. The moon person is as well. But this isn't something that they're going to wear on their sleeve quite as much as the Lovers person. The Lovers person is just very warm and very compassionate and probably just like a ray of sunlight to a lot of people, kind of an uplifting energy. So somebody who really draws people in and connects with them on a deep feeling level. Like we were talking about, this person kind of drops into their body. They kind of feel their way through things. That's the energy that I'm picking up on for this Lovers person. And really a strong, like, potential. Like, for example, this Lovers person, if they were going to move into a place together, let's say, the Lover's person, even if this place was a total fixer-upper and it wasn't perfect, this Lover's person can see the vision. Like, they can see, it could be so great. Like, all we have to do is paint this wall or put furniture right here, cover this spot up. Like, it'll be fine, we'll be great. And the Moon person will be kind of like mulling it over in their mind, maybe even for too long. Like, maybe now the place isn't available because they thought about it too much, because they were thinking about all the details of it. And the Lover's person is just kind of feeling their way through it. So definitely they see the potential in every situation and are really positive. They manage to remain positive most of the time. And I think that, like, they are also very practical because they can see ways to improve situations. They can come up with reasonable suggestions that will make situations work and kind of work around problems. So in that way, the Moon person and the Lover's person, they have that in common. Like, they have the ability to analyze situations and to come up with reasonable solutions to problems. I think just their approach and how positive they're going to be about any given scenario is where they're going to find their differences. But really, they both do have this ability to be very, very practical about how to approach matters of life in general. This Lover's person is definitely devoted. Definitely, once they set their mind to something or to someone, they are going to stick with it. Definitely. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the connection between the two. So with this Moon energy here, I am getting the feeling that there is like a longing. So this Moon person, they long for the Lover's person. And for some reason, I'm picking up on this vibe of, like, they feel powerless here. They feel like there's nothing that they can do, but almost like they feel like a literal tugging in their heart toward this Lover's person. And just for some reason feel a bit helpless in the situation. And I'm not really sure why. I think that probably goes back to all of the activity that goes on in their minds, because I really am sensing an openness from the Lover's person. So I don't know why this Moon person would feel like they have to long for the Lover's person, like they can't get to the Lover's person. But they definitely have this this kind of energy. I think it really just goes back to that lonely place that their minds can take them sometimes, and how hard they can be on themselves. In that lonely place where they are analyzing every situation and they're just there by themselves, going over the details, maybe even going over the problems, maybe a conflict or an obstacle to the connection. They just can't, sometimes they can't see how it can work, whereas the Lover's person can always see how it can work. And there's definitely just this longing feeling coming from the Moon person, wanting to be close to the Lover's person, wanting to connect more deeply with the Lover's person, and just feeling like they're powerless to make that happen. I think for this Moon person, there was a distinct moment. There was some kind of event. Definitely one particular trigger moment that really kind of woke them up to how much they need this Lover's person. And I think that moment scared the crap out of them. I don't know how else to say that. I think this person is somebody who's very self-sufficient, and that's why they tend to deal with their problems alone. They tend to go into their dark, quiet place and and kind of figure out and think their way through things. So they are so used to relying on themselves and just themselves. And there was a moment where they really realized that they actually needed this person, this lover's person, that they needed them, that their heart needed them. And I think that really freaked them out, because they're not somebody who would ever admit to needing anyone. In fact, until they met the lover's person, they did not even think that that was possible. They didn't think that they could ever actually feel like they needed another person in their life. Like they could not go on without that person being close to them. I think that because they're so used to depending on themselves, and because they felt a certain amount of dependency as soon as they felt that feeling toward the lover's person, it made them pull away. They felt so vulnerable feeling that it caused them to pull back from the connection. So for some of you, that could be complete loss of contact. For others, it could be just a moment in the relationship where you feel like things just kind of went cold and you're not quite sure what happened. Or if you are the moon person and you did that, then this is like, that's kind of why. It's like this vulnerable feeling that just makes you feel like I think this moon person wants to be strong. Like they want to appear strong. And feeling like they need the lover's person makes them feel weak and vulnerable. Yeah, I think that they feel a bit too exposed. Like in this image, the way that this person, she's standing here with her arms open, wide, really exposed. And I think that exposed feeling makes this moon person feel so vulnerable. And they're not comfortable with that at all. Not at all. So, okay, moving on to the lovers. Really a distinct difference in how I'm feeling like these people approach this connection is that this moon person really, it feels like they almost wallow in the present moment, or even sometimes things that have happened in the past. They're very stuck there. And this lover's person is very much focused on the future, very much focused on how this connection could move forward, on how it could work, on how obstacles could be overcome. And that's difficult for the moon person to do. The moon person might be just kind of like going over a conversation in their minds that just happened, and not so much thinking about, well, how can we move forward from that? So they're, in some ways, they give me kind of this feeling of drowning in worry and in fear around this connection. I think that the lover's person really sees that these two people can be better together. They can be stronger together. And because of that, no matter what obstacles they're facing or what problems there might be showing themselves in this connection, this person ultimately knows that they're going to be stronger together, and this union is going to make them better, both individually and then as a unit. So that's what this person is looking forward to and is excited about. Definitely. I'm just like really picking up on this guarded feeling from this moon person. They want to guard their heart so much, and just the strength of this connection and just what they felt for the lover's person, it's like taking off the armor that was covering their heart, and now they just feel completely exposed. Totally exposed. So I do feel like this Lovers person really feels like the stable part of this relationship, probably feels like the rock of the relationship. Like at a lot of times probably feels like they're holding the entire thing together because because they can see the potential and because they believe, and they're going to continue to believe in this. So yeah, they probably kind of sometimes feel like they're doing it all by themselves. Okay, I want to jump into, I feel like that's, we've been talking about this a lot, but we have a lot of oracle cards to go through, so let's kind of get some more stuff out on the table and see what is going on. We have protection. Oh, you guys. For person number 2, we have success. Okay. This protection card, this is what we're talking about with this moon person. They are extremely guarded, and what they're trying to do in this connection right now is protect themselves. They're trying to protect their heart. They just felt so exposed by this Lovers person, and it's really kind of sweet because the feelings here are extremely intense. The longing and the yearning for this Lovers person, extremely intense. But it has also triggered this desire for the moon person to kind of like clam up and want to protect themselves a little bit. So, not even a little bit. I think that's a lot. I think they really feel a need to like cover up. It's like they feel too exposed to this Lovers person. They feel way too exposed, and it's nothing that the Lovers person did wrong. In fact, they did everything so right that they made this person really realize that a connection could be for them, like that they could actually be in something so deep and so meaningful that they feel like they need the other person. The success card coming out for the Lovers, I really think that this is like talking about this person's ability to always see how it's going to work. Like, I think that these two people could look at the same situation and one of them gets scared and the other one thinks this could be great. Like, this could work. They see success. They see the future. They see the path, and they're excited about it. Okay, let's go deeper. More oracle cards. For a person, we have, oh my gosh, you kidding me? Protection. Again, that is total confirmation. This person is extremely guarded, and they are trying to protect themselves. So this says, call back your power, cut the cords, and soul retrieval. So in this case, I think that the power, it's basically like they are giving their fear too much power over this connection, and they need to call back their power so that they can open up to like what's unfolding here. And the cords that need to be cut, I mean, I think those are the cords to fear and just to feeling like they have to be alone and like they have to protect themselves. They are going to, yeah. Calling back their power really means taking control of the situation and not letting fear lead. They've been maybe letting fear like drive the car for a little bit too long. And see in this image, this crossed arm stance that all of these figures have taken. That's kind of like what this person did. As soon as they felt like, oh crap, this is something serious, they kind of like crossed their arms like that. They used their fear as a bit of a shield to protect themselves from what they were feeling. Let's look at what we have for person number 2. We have Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. Okay. So I think this Lovers person probably already knows this. They are deeply connected, and basically this success that they see, this this way that they know this is going to work, even though they're dealing with somebody who has a lot of fear about this connection. It's basically like, you're right on. You're right on about that. That success that you see, it's not in your head. It's not made up. You are correct about it. You are being divinely guided when it comes to this connection. So for the Lovers person, they know this is right. Like they already know, and I feel like that's what they express to the Moon person, or that's what they try to express if they have an opportunity to express it. They try to express to them that this is right, that this can work, and what opportunities there are here. And sometimes maybe they feel like they get through, and other times not. Wow, you guys. Okay, 2 more oracle cards. So, okay, any of the nostalgia cards in this deck really just, you know, are just like it sounds. It's about kind of taking us back to fond memories that we have probably of our childhood. So really, this Moon person, as serious as they can be, like they are so deeply contemplative and really, really focused, and sometimes kind of an intense energy. Being around the Lovers person makes them feel like a kid again. It makes them feel playful. It makes them feel like they want to use their imagination. Like they do, you know what I like. They might not let the Lovers person know, but they do. They use their imagination all the time when it comes to this connection. They are dreaming about and wishing for the Lovers person all the time. And really just being around the Lovers person like brought out all of this creativity and like this imaginative nature about the Moon person that they haven't even dealt with since they were kids. So the connection's very special to this person. It's maybe not something that they will express or communicate about so easily, not as easily as the Lovers person, but it's very, very special, and it feels almost like it kind of like woke them up in a way, like activated things inside of them that they haven't known, they haven't thought about since childhood. Wow, you guys. Okay, on the Lovers person side, minimalist white, I really think that this, if you see this image, it's just like a blank room kind of, and just like all monotone. And to me, this is like how this Lovers person sees, because what this card really means is like it's essential, like something that's just essential, that's just basic. It's just like you just have to have it. It just is what it is. And I feel like that's how the Lovers person views this connection. Like this is just essential, and it's just basic, and it's just like of course this would be, of course we would be together. It seems like it is a given as far as this person is concerned. I think it's very clear to them. It's very cut and dry. They don't need a lot of frill, a lot of fluff in order to explain this, or in order to like believe that this connection is and should be. It's very straightforward to them. It's very straightforward, and it is also very essential, and they don't have a problem admitting that, where the Moon person might have a little bit of a hesitant feeling when it comes to admitting how essential, how this connection must absolutely be, because both of these people feel that way about each other. They just feel like this has to happen, this has to be. But there's just a little bit more resistance coming from this side. This person is very protected and very guarded. Okay, I'm going to get these oracle cards out of here. I will leave these 2 tarot cards here so we can kind of remember who person A and person B is, but we're really just going to talk now about your person, and we'll just get into some tarot. So whichever side you resonated with, maybe both, quite possibly both. I feel like shuffling was so loud. Okay. We're going to now look into what your person, oh wow, what they want out of this connection. So let's see what this person wants out of this connection. Okay. We have the Eight of Swords, Judgment. I'll get one more card. Oh wow. And the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. So right off, I mean, my eye goes right to this Judgment card. This person that you have on your mind, they want to stop feeling absolutely trapped and restricted when it comes to you, because that's how they've been feeling, like they can't express themselves. And this is really something coming from inside of them. This is coming from just some work that they need to do. This isn't anything that you have done to make them feel like this. It's just so hard for them to open up and to not want to guard their hearts like crazy. So this Eight of Swords feeling is really how this person's been feeling. The Judgment card is like the truth. Like they want to communicate with you. They want to express to you exactly how they feel and exactly how important this connection is to them. And then ultimately they want this this Nine of Pentacles with you. Nine of Pentacles is a really indulgent kind of feeling, and it's kind of like the feeling of having so much, like so much abundance. And I won't say having it all, because the Ten of Pentacles is more like having it all. This is one step before that, but there is this part of them that wants to indulge in this connection. They want to be selfish. They want to be self-indulgent. They want to just connect with you the way that they are dreaming of. But it's almost like Judgment's going to be the key. Judgment's going to be the thing that allows this Nine of Pentacles to happen. It's also the hurdle. That's like the big mountain standing between this Eight of Swords and this Nine of Pentacles energy. Huge mountain of letting the truth be known. Okay, I want to look at what energy they're going to be bringing to this connection. So what energy will your person bring to this connection going forward? Oh wow. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Your cards are flying out. Okay, we have the Strength card. Let's move these up. Strength card. The King of Wands. And the Ace of Wands. This is this is all good news. Your person's going to be finding that courage, that inner strength to come forward and to express a lot more than they've been doing. So for some of you, there might be some level of expression. For others of you, it could just be crickets from this person. Like, as protected as they felt they needed to be, like we saw with these cards here, 2 protection cards coming out to tell you just how guarded this person is. It's gonna take something to kind of break that wall down and remove that armor, but they've got it in them. Like King of Wands energy, very direct, very passionate, and not a slow energy at all. So this person's going to be coming forward. The energy that they're going to bring to this connection now is something a lot more fast moving and less stagnant than what it has felt like up until this point. They are going to be really I want to say like pursuing more, and they may have been doing that at one point, but once they got freaked out, I do think like the energy shifted there, but there's definitely more of an energy of pursuit here. And then this Ace of Wands coming out, you guys, this Ace of Wands just marks this new beginning for you. So I think when they find this strength, it's basically strength for this. Strength for this. So the way that these cards laid out, it's perfect because the energy that they're going to bring to this relationship is actually what's going to allow this all to take place. The energy, they're going to have a shift, and the energy that they bring is what's going to get them out of this Eight of Swords and into this Nine of Pentacles. So this is just definitely something that happens within them. It's a shift. It's a dropping of the need to protect themselves so much, and then it's just like all new beginnings and smooth sailing. And I must say that this connection is going to be quite passionate, and that this person's approach to you is going to be quite passionate. So for some of you, it might seem like somebody turned off the cold water and turned on the hot, and you're like, what the heck happened? But don't worry about it. Like, just don't, because this is what they wanted to do. This is what they wanted to express, and they've been too afraid. And they're definitely going to grow in some way, something very internal. They're going to grow, and they're going to be coming forward. And I think you're not going to feel like you have to facilitate this connection as much as you may have felt before, because you've got King of Wands energy coming at you. So this is definitely a very confident, straightforward, straight to the point, like almost like a show-offy type of nature to the Wands. The King is very sure of himself, and like he's not going to be as much of a show-off, but there's something with the King of Wands, that there's something with just Wands energy that like gives me this feeling of flaunting something. So this person's definitely going to be pursuing you in a new way, and they want to start over in a lot of ways. Like they want to start over in a less guarded way with you. Okay, you guys, I'm going to leave the reading here because, wow, this is long. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If any of this resonated for you, please leave me a comment down below and let me know. I love chatting with you guys in the comments and just seeing like how this lines up in your life. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe if you feel like doing that, and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in your next reading. Bye.